Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video. This is a post-election coverage of the 2025 elections. Today we'll be focusing on the three elections that happened in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now let's get right into it. First, right off the bat, we can undoubtedly say that Democrats performed very, very well, especially in Virginia. We'll get to New Jersey in another video, but I'll focus on Virginia first. But the Democrat performance here was really, really good. For the governor's election, we had Abigail Spanberger win by about 15 points over Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears. This was a very dominant election, as you could tell. Democrats did pretty well. Abigail Spanberger even won the first congressional district, which is kind of Republican, pretty Republican area. So as you can see, all around, she overperformed Kamala Harris by around 9 points. You can look in depth, but it was not particularly close. I would definitely say she outperformed expectations because yes, she was widely favored to win. Just because of Virginia's historical trends, if they elect a governor of the opposite party of the president's party. That was not a surprise. I predicted that Abigail Spanberger would win in between 6 and 10 points. I had her win around 8 points, similar to how Ralph Northam won in 2017. But she overperformed expectations. She won by a lot. You can tell it was a pretty strong showing for the Democrats. I don't think anybody, even some more liberal channels out there, I don't think anybody saw a nearly 15-point win coming for Spanberger. I suppose we can now say that Virginia is definitely a blue state, and the Democrats have really expanded on their numbers. You can tell. She did pretty well in some Trump country. You can tell a lot of counties that Donald Trump won, like Spotsylvania County. This is a Donald Trump plus 9 county. Spanberger won it by around 3. So a lot of huge shifts towards the Democrats. You can see she won Virginia Beach by 10, Chesapeake by way over that, 13. Won Northampton County by 10. So she did really well in the swingy Hampton Roads areas. She did better than Kamala Harris's margins by a lot. So, yeah, a lot of people thought that she would win, but she definitely did really well. And the margins that she got in Northern Virginia, she won Stafford County by double digits. That was a narrow, marginal Kamala Harris County. Spanberger won that by a lot. She cracked like over 70% of the vote in Fairfax County. Got big numbers in Loudoun County, Prince William County, the surrounding Nova area. That's where Democrats, when they win Virginia, get a lot of voter turnout there. And she did really well. I think a lot of people, including myself, though, are surprised by her margin. However, Winsome Earl-Sears still did pretty well in the rural part of the state, Commonwealth. But that's about it. It wasn't really close. You saw Caroline County nearly flip. Winsome Sears won that by 13 votes, so I was close. However, before we move on to the Attorney General election, we should mention the Lieutenant Governor's race was nearly 11 points for Ghazal Hashmi, so not quite as big as Spanberger, but still very much a lot. Overperformed Kamala Harris by around 4 or 5 points, so definitely pretty good. See Democrats locked up these suburban areas, and the rural areas weren't. They didn't show up in the numbers that would make this race competitive. It was pretty strong lead for Ghazal Hashmi over John Reed. You can see Chesterfield County, the Richmond area. Like I predicted, this would be a strong area for the Democrats if they overperformed. Ghazal Hashmi is from this part of the Commonwealth. She did pretty good in the northern part, but that is basically what happened. We also must take into account what happened with the Attorney General's election. This is the one that a lot of people, including myself, got wrong because nobody thought that Jay Jones was really going to pull this out. Maybe some people thought that he would win by like maybe a point and a half at tops. But I thought Jason Miyares was going to win this election by around a point and a half. I thought this was going to be a win for the Republicans, but Jay Jones, despite those violent text messages and a lot of those scandals that would seem to hurt him in the campaign, polling indicated that he was going to lose the election, but he didn't. He won, defeating incumbent Jason Miyares, Republican incumbent. Now, why do I think this election went the way it did? As you can tell, Abigail Spanberger won by like 14-ish points, 14 and a half points. Jason Miyares overperformed her by around 8 points, but when somebody is at the bottom of the ticket, they can't overperform by 13 points. Like, that's a lot of ticket splitting, and there already was a lot of ticket splitting. I had a video come out about that, but I think the top of the ticket was strong enough for the Democrats to carry Jay Jones over the finish line. It was definitely an upset. I don't think he was the favorite in this election, but he was able to win. He even won the Hampton Roads. Obviously a lot closer than before, but he was able to actually overperform Kamala Harris. This was about 7-point win, 6 or 7-point win, similar to how Kamala Harris won the state, the Commonwealth. That is basically what happened. However, Miyares was still able to win red areas that Winsome Earl Sears wasn't able to win, like Nelson County, Spotsylvania County, other areas, Prince Edward County. He was able to do better in rural areas, but definitely wasn't really a close election at all. Jay Jones was able to win, which is, again, a surprise, mainly because Spanberger overperformed by so much at the top of the ticket, which, is to be expected because, Virginia can vote either party, but it does lean to the left. So Spanberger was favored to win. It's just nobody really thought that it was going to win that by this much. That's basically why and how that happened in Virginia. But they did elect their first female governor, so it was a historical election. A lot of ticket splitting, obviously, but a lot of overperformance in like Trump areas. Again, like Spotsylvania County, that was a pretty heavy Trump country. Spanberger was able to win. I believe her congressional district that she represented was in this part of the state, so I think that played a role into it. But that is basically what happened in Virginia. I appreciate you watching. We'll definitely have some more content coming out, analyzing the election results and coming out with new election news forecasts. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day.